It's nice to play a cozy casual game and it not try to be Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing for once. Finally, we have one with its own identity and unique ideas. But whilst Dave the Diver has an absolutely outstanding first 10 hours, the quality dramatically drops after a certain point. You play as Dave, who comes off his holiday to help some mates run a sushi bar. It's a very light-hearted story with a decent sense of humour running through it. Most of the jokes are made at Dave's expense and it can feel a bit harsh seeing as Dave just seems like a nice guy who wants to help people, but it never gets nasty. It does have its mysteries concerning the ancient race of sea people, and the game does try to attempt to comment on some issues like industrial fishing and the supposed charitable people who try to stop it, but it doesn't really bang you over the head with it. The core of the game is to catch fish and get items during the day to get ingredients for your sushi bar, and then at night run your sushi bar as effectively as you can. But the game has many more layers that you unlock at a good pace on top of that. You use the profits from the sushi bar to upgrade your gear, allowing you to dive further and catch bigger, more expensive fish. You can also acquire new weapons to help you weaken beefier fish and eventually upgrade them to be more efficient. The swimming and catching of the fish all controls well. When you aim your harpoon, you enter slow motion so you have time to get your shot off properly. I would appreciate the ability to aim straight up or down though. It leads to some annoying moments where a fish is just slightly out of reach, you swim to get a better angle and the guild twat swims off. The exploring of the ocean is nice and relaxing, and the visual variety of the different depths looks really nice. There's all sorts of stuff to discover and catch that will always help you towards some sort of goal. It's nice nothing is wasted. There are dangerous big effing fish about, and it can be quite scary stumbling into one. But the game isn't really that difficult, so taking one down isn't much effort, and the same goes for the boss fights. I don't mind it personally, seeing as it's a casual cozy game. It would be stupid and frustrating to have it be difficult, and it's good they are brief because they definitely aren't the strongest element of the game. One thing that might rub people the wrong way is your oxygen is also your health. If you get hit, it goes down. Personally, not that bothered by it, but then I wouldn't mind if there was a separate health bar either. The game is easy anyway. If I can manage to never die, then I think most people can. Also, for people with accessibility issues, there are quick time events and there are no autocomplete options. In this day and age, there's no excuse for that. The restaurant management element of the game is really good fun. It starts off pretty simple, but as more customers turn up and more layers of it unlock, such as serving beer, menu expansions and hiring staff, it can get quite chaotic. You also get VIPs who turn up, who are all massive arseholes naturally, and want certain dishes making, so you have to research them and get the ingredients. This is the part of the game where a time limit is imposed on you, since you have to sort it all out in a few in-game days. It might annoy people who like to take games like this at their own pace. Each day is split into 3 parts, morning, afternoon and evening. At the start of the game, the evening is reserved just for restaurant management. Later on you can dive at night to get rarer fish, but you will lose out on some of the restaurant money. So you do have plenty of time to get the time sensitive stuff done. You'll be never short of something to do in the game. There's always something you can focus your time on, and before you know it, hours have gone by, and no part of the game is overly complicated, which is exactly what you want in a casual game. It's graphically gorgeous too. It's vibrant and charming, lending very well to the game's light tone and humour, though there is no VSync option in the game. I had to turn it on in the Nvidia control panel, which is a bit poo. There are things I really don't like though. To unlock new weapons, you have to find them in chests, fine, but you have to find them multiple times. Why? Just let me find them once. It's not like this unlocks them to you straight away anyway, since you have to craft them after that. And then, dear viewer, like I mentioned at the start, the game takes a pretty big quality dive after chapter 3. The catching of fish and managing your restaurant takes a backseat to a bunch of different gameplay ideas that don't complement the game at all. There's a visual novel section, a boat chase, a weird anime rhythm game, puzzles and stealth sections, not to mention the game gets a bit story cutscene heavy at this point too. Also at this point you unlock a fish and conventional farm to get ingredients, and this trivialises the good part of the game. You also get to the point where your staff can run the restaurant with very little input from you, making the other good part of the game pointless, and you're left to do all the boring stuff. It's such a bum burp because it's like the game forgets what makes it good and focuses on other stuff instead. I haven't finished the game yet because I got too bored of it, and I can't see myself going back to it, to be honest, because it's become a chore. I was genuinely getting ready to put Dave the Diver into my Game of the Year shortlist, but not now. It's so strange. You hear people say stuff like, oh, give the game 10 hours then it gets really good, which is never true. This is the first game I've played where you give it 10 hours then when it gets really shit. Some people might enjoy the later game, and for them it's 100% recommend, but I can't recommend paying 18 quid for the good 10 hours. A game with too many ideas instead of refining the good ones it has.
I'm such a mess, I'm lost, I'm no good at this. I'm in love, still in love, still in love with you. Hard as I try, I can't even drink this pain up.